Hey guys, so earlier I was trying to figure out what kind of movie I should watch today. I was kind of pondering it for a while, and then I found one. And then that made me realize as a man that there are some movies that, you know, even when you're all alone, you can watch them in the comfort of your home, there's still that, you know, cultural default setting that says movies like this, it's just a little bit off. But I say, let's push that boundary out of the way. We should be able to watch what we want to watch without feeling cultural norms inflicted on us all the time. So with that, here is my top 7 list of my guilty movie pleasures. Starting off the list, we have Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I met one of my really good friends about 8 years ago on Xbox Live, actually, and I remember when we first got the Netflix app, this was probably around 2010 or so, and that was back when you could invite each other to like that little movie theater app and watch a movie together. The first movie we ever watched on there was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It was incredible. It kind of opens up like your normal B-horror movie, you know? You got these two teenagers on Lover's Lane, they break out of their car, they decide they're gonna go through the woods, and they see this huge circus tent in the middle of nowhere. Sarah's like, "Oh my gosh, Billy, is that popcorn I smell?" And he's like, "No, Sarah, that's a cotton candy cocoon with dead people in it." That same friend actually flew up here last summer to my state, and we watched the movie again. We went out, bought it at a thrift store, and it was just as good. The next movie on this list is You Got Served. You remember that dancing movie from the early 2000s? Yes, I love that movie. I remember walking down the street to my friend's house, who actually owned the movie back when I was just a little kid, and watching the movie. And I remember just like grooving to those dance scenes, man. Still to this day, I actually really like the music in this movie. But right when those dancing scenes end, you get some, you get to see the acting portions, and, well, I reenacted it. I made this one short film with my friend when I was probably 13 years old. I'll throw up some footage if I can find it. Coming in at number 5, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put this on this list or not, but I figured, you know, what the heck. It's actually a combination of two movies, The Hangover Part 2 and Part 3. The reason this is on here is because a lot of people do not like these two sequels. They say that they are nowhere near as good as the first, and critics bashed the movie, and America disowned it. But with me, I loved them just as much as the first one. That's a little bit of an exaggeration. I loved these movies so much. How dare you? She's a nice lady! Good morning, Mr. Breakfast! Alright, that was my Pee-wee's Big Adventure impression. I saw this movie first when I was just a tiny little kid, and I loved it. I think it was Tim Burton's first directorial debut, and that's something to be proud of, okay? Everything is hilarious about this movie, even when he like pulls his bike out of that little awesome hidden trap door he had in his lawn, and he gets the bike out, there's like the little lion in the front, and he's like, "Brush, brush, brush," he's brushing its teeth. Dude, everything about that movie is hilarious. It is also extremely disturbing though, especially that part with Large Marge. She pulls up in her 18-wheeler and she's talking to Pee-wee. She's like, "Tell him Large Marge sent you," and then you see the claymation like screwing up her face and everything. Next on my list is The Hot Chick, starring Rob Schneider. I saw this movie back when it first came out in, I think, 2003. I remember sitting there Indian style in front of the TV, being so easily entertained by this movie. Still watching it to this day, 20 years old now. I see that it's pretty much total garbage, but it's hilarious garbage. Plus, it's a chick flick. You'll see one more of those before this video is over. I just have this little tiny corner tucked away into my heart for these chick flicks. They really do something for me. But really, the most memorable part of this entire movie is Adam Sandler's short cameo. A lot of people didn't know this. You can stick your weed in there. Coming in at number 2 is ScoobyDoo. Yeah, the 2000 live-action ScoobyDoo movie. I just really enjoy myself watching this poorly animated dog walk across the screen for an hour and a half, walking into these different set pieces, which I have so much nostalgia with, but are really made out of cardboard. One thing I always remembered about this movie was the ending and that little cult doing their chant, Ariki, oh wow, save us. I'm sorry if that's gonna give you nightmares later. It's so funny how when you're a kid, these scenes are so grand scale to you. Now when I watch it though, I realize that there was only about 25 people in that whole room and they were just wearing $3 costumes. And here we are at number 1. You know it is V-neck day and you were cluttering it up with that ugly hoodie. Mean Girls. So this is probably the only thing Lindsay Lohan will be remembered for 20 years from now, acting-wise. This movie, written by Tina Fey, is just something that will carry on for a long time, I think. It is hilarious, and it's a teen movie, and I love teen movies. I feel like I'll even love them when I'm 30 years old. I don't know if that's creepy or not. A couple weeks back, I found that they put the movie on Netflix. I watched it one night. Not even 24 hours later, I watched it again. Then 2 days later, I watched it again. So there was 3 showings of Mean Girls for this guy, and every single time I was completely okay with it. Mean Girls simply is the best chick flick ever made. Alright guys, those are my 7 guilty pleasures. There were probably some more I could have thrown on here, but we'll just keep it with this. Let me know if you enjoyed this series. This is just the first video of more to come. There's going to be top 7 drama movies, top 7 action movies, top 7 nostalgic movies, you know, the list goes on and on. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.